A quarta temporada da série The Chosen estará disponível em breve. A equipe do Pleno.News foi convidada a ir até os Estados Unidos e ter a chance de ver as gravações e conversar com o elenco. Confira agora o nosso papo com os atores Abe Martell e George Xanthis. It's true. So I want you to guys begin. Can you tell us a little bit, how would you define your character?
Our characters, James and John. I mean, Sons of Thunder is a really good, really good summary of both of them. But I think Jesus chose James and John because of the love and compassion and passion in their hearts. But they're young and a little bit temperamental. So I think Jesus saw the opportunity to teach two very, very passionate people how to control their temper a little bit. And I think inadvertently through the show, what happens is people learn that lesson for themselves. I think a lot of people can see themselves in James and John.
And how to channel all of that passion and energize yourself into something stronger and more guided.
But it's also, for an actor, you never want a journey where, you know, for John, he is known as the beloved or even the loving disciple, someone who does have compassion and is very calm. But as an actor, you know, that's not the most fun thing to play the entire series. So to have these characters as these young, brash, a little bit temperamental, sometimes agitated and angry, and see them learn how to become loving is a journey for actors that is way more intriguing, and a journey for audiences way more intriguing to watch on screen.
And do you relate somehow with your characters? Have you learned anything from them?
Oh, yeah.
100%. I mean, whether it's, I think, you know, energizing yourself with your passion in a way that will create different outcomes. I think I relate to that, and that's like a lesson that we go through as the characters, but it's also a lesson that I think will play out over and over again in our lives. You know, George was talking about going from Sons of Thunder to the loving apostle, right? The apostle of love, or what is it?
Beloved.
The beloved. You know, so that journey right there shows us all that we can grow. And so in that way, I identify with James. I identify with wanting authority, with being righteous, right? And really, like that's also like a very tricky area that we can always take a deeper and closer look at in our own lives.
How did you prepare for these characters that you are playing?
I chopped a lot of wood.
Well, one thing that's incredible is that I think a lot of the actors, just by chance, share a lot of the character traits with our characters. You know, I think I can relate a lot to John, so it makes playing the character and preparing a lot easier. But I was raised in the Greek Orthodox faith, and I had the opportunity to ask a Greek Orthodox priest about, you know, what do you know about James and John? Because I wasn't as learned in the Bible and readings of it. And so asking him about, like, what was John about? And he actually, he's the one that told me that James and John were some of the younger disciples, and they were a little bit temperamental. So that was also good to tap into my, like, my family and my culture and my community at home back in Sydney, Australia, and learn a bit about something that I didn't really know about before. So that was kind of a little advantage for me.
Mine's a little different because I don't have a book that I wrote, right? And that doesn't exist. So that I can't get, like, and I'm really envious of like Matthew and John, where you can go in there and you can see the text that they wrote, right? And it's a very close relation. So I've tried to look at James through a different lens, like through the Camino of Santiago, and get myself out in nature. I think these last 2 years have really been about me understanding what it would mean to hit the road and live with only what you have. And I've learned a lot of lessons about abundance, about how much we really have in our life and how much is already provided for.
Awesome. How would you define The Chosen, this big success? How would you define this series?
I would say that The Chosen is a historical drama that strives to authentically portray a genuine Christ, you know? And I think that we might get it wrong sometimes. Sometimes people don't agree with what we're doing, and that's okay, but it's a genuine effort. And I don't think that any studio or any other media has made the effort that we are making now. and hopefully will continue to make over the next years. That's how I define The Chosen.
And it's an historical drama based on the life of Jesus from the perspective of those who knew him. That's why it's called The Chosen. It's the perspective of the chosen people, of the disciples, whoever it is, because the disciples are not just the only 12 people in the series. We've got Mary Magdalene, we've got Tamar, we've got Barnaby and Shula, crowd favorites. We've got Zebedee, our father, Salome, our mother. There's so many characters. There's Gaius, one of the Roman soldiers.
Everyone's affected by Jesus.
Everybody is affected. So it's the perspective of Jesus's life from those people. And that's what makes it relatable. That's what's made it a success, because people can relate to these people. Whereas before, maybe series of this nature have probably been from a different perspective, maybe just looking from Jesus out. But now we're looking from the outside in, I would say.
And what could you say about the season 4? No spoilers, but what will be your character's journey?
Well, we have a little spoiler.
We do. We could share something that's already been shared. So, James and John everyone is struggling with understanding Jesus deeper and trying to understand him through his words, through his messages, not just his miracles. And so I think in this season we see how even in trying to understand him deeper, James and John make a mistake, and that's so relatable. We've all been there, right? But James and John basically ask Jesus for more responsibility. We want to be at your left and right hand. And this is where we see some of the text that lets us know that Jesus is aware of what is about to happen. And he puts us in our place and says, you don't really know what you're asking.
Like he's busy giving sermons about the kingdom of heaven and how you can better your life and how to love the world, and we tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, can we be more important? Just in your own time, you can answer us. And it's just in that sense, there is a little bit of humor in that, but he is heartbroken by that. So that's kind of James and John. We're in season 4. Like I said, there's a journey. So even in season 4, you'd think that the disciples would start to get it, but they're still struggling to understand their position in all of this, because this is greater than what they are, definitely, and they're still going to make mistakes. Even though they have been anointed apostles, they were called apostles in season 3, so they think this must mean we're really important. But that's the last thing that they should be thinking, is that they're more important than other people.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.